I mean, you were searching for something there, and then Jaden and Lively seemed like they kick-started everything.
Yeah, I think the third quarter, we played the way we have, take out the Denver game with the pace and the defensive side. Pre-game, we talked about it with you guys, the rebounding, we out-rebounded them. I thought the message that the guys heard before the game, they carried it out. We missed shots. It happens. A win is ugly win. It goes into, this group is growing in front of our eyes of struggles offensively, but that they didn't give in. And so you got to give that group in that locker room a lot of credit. In that second half, we could have easily folded and start thinking about Orlando. But I thought the guys did a great job. DP, offensive rebounds. We shot the ball in that second half. We were 8 for 14 from the three. So there was a lot of good stuff in that second half, which was cool to watch. But I think when you talk about the team effort, that was a great team win.
You guys were big in some ways, like you said, the rebounding. Where did the points in the paint for them mostly come from? Where did you see them?
Well, they dominated.
15 from the centers.
The beauty of twos against threes, sometimes threes are gonna win, and they dominated the two game, and that was with the pick and roll and the ability to get some offensive rebounds. Their bigs were dominating the paint. But they got guys, Hayward is a two. They only shot 9 of them. They made 2 in the first half, and then ball gets going there in the second half. But I thought the guys being able to take the 3 away, being able to rebound and get out and run in that second half, I thought that we started the game off great with the pace, getting stops, and then we just started. We had some opportunities that we normally have made, and I thought the guys kind of just got a little frustrated, but I think, again, learning from that Denver game, they stayed the course and found a way to win.
Coach Kidd, last season in the clutch towards the end, it was something y'all maybe struggled with a little more, and now y'all have had 4 wins in the clutch. What have you seen as a big difference in y'all's clutch performance?
Well, when you have 77 and 11, it's an easy thing. We talked about last year, as much as we want things to happen right away, you got to go through a process of growing pains and getting to know one another. But the other side of that is we've spent a lot of time in the game situations, and everybody's very comfortable. And those two, again, we ran one play, and Luka dominated the ball, but I thought Kai did a great job of being open in the corner. Those are shots that we all know that he can knock down. If he didn't shoot it, he drives it to be able to finish or make a play for someone. And so I thought our quarterback was great, and our receivers were great with that.
You're more concerned with the bottom line, but it seemed like a pretty good show. Melo and Luka both kind of put on there, especially in the second half.
Yeah, Ball had been struggling shooting the ball, and he was for 3 quarters he was kind of quiet, But you give someone that type of talent, that many looks, it's going to be at some point he's going to connect, and he did a great job. He puts a lot of pressure on your defense, not with just the distance of his threes, but his passing ability. He had a triple-double, and that's what, again, that's what he does. He can control the game by finding his teammates or being able to, score.
Coach, Wednesday you're playing against Toronto, actually. What are expectations from the game? And what do you say about Darko Rajakovic becoming the new head coach of the Raptors? Same country as Nikola Jokic is from, actually, originally.
Yeah, I think it's great. Not just international players, but international coaches being head coaches in our league. It just shows the game has grown. We got to worry about Orlando first before we get to Toronto. But they're playing well. They cause a problem with their length and their youth, and he's also a very good coach. And I'm happy that he has the opportunity to be a head coach in this league.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What do you like about the dunk?
What I liked about the dunk, what I liked it the most was how excited how loud the building got after. For real, it was just a good moment, bringing energy. Mm-hmm.
What's been the theme? Over the past few games, as you've gotten minutes, been trusted with minutes, and I guess kind of taking them.
Really just staying ready whenever my name is called, and then when I get out there playing within myself, trying to make the right plays while still being aggressive and playing my game. So, yeah.
What's been communicated to you, or kind of what's your mindset in terms of how you can earn consistent minutes?
Really just staying ready. That's what they tell me. You know, just sticking, just continue to do what I'm doing, and which is, you know, just continue to put in work even when I'm not playing. You know, staying late at the gym at night. You know, going early. So just continue to do the stuff that I'm doing, just being a pro.
You're on the bench like tonight and seeing the game develop, and you can see that you know, the team needed a spark of some sort, and then you and Derek kind of came in and did that. What's the, you know, is there something going through your head that you say, yeah, this has got to be our time?
Yeah, whenever I hear my name called, I'm ready to go. So just staying ready. You feel me? I'm just trying to, once I get out there, bring that energy and bring that spark to the team, you know, and get us going. So, and I feel like that's what I did tonight. So, yeah.
Jason has name dropped you as someone who's improving defensively. Is there anything specific that the coaches are asking you to focus on, or have been, you know, really harping on?
Yeah, you know, just like staying after practice, you know, working on my defense. That's some of the things that I do with the coaches. You know, getting through screens, you know, being where I'm supposed to be, and then just sticking to our schemes and knowing what I'm supposed to do. So,
Jaden, compared to last year's performance in the clutch towards the end of the season, what's been the biggest improvement this season that you've seen so far?
I feel like us just trusting each other and staying poised through those moments. You know, not hanging our heads low. You know, just trusting each other and trusting the staff. So, yeah.
Double tonight, man. What's that like?
Just doing the dirty work, man. Cleaning up offensive rebounds, making sure I'm getting defensive rebounds, making sure I'm staying open, making sure I'm having my hands ready. You just got to do. I'm just thankful for my teammates for finding me in those spots and just trying to get on to the next one.
Going against, he preceded you back a year or two there, but was that a little bit more special, a little more juice?
You know, just being able to know I'm going up against another blue blood just made me want to work that much harder. You know, I know he's a great player. He's always on the boards. He's always dunking the ball whenever he's got an open chance. So I know he was going to be able to be a challenge for me. So, you know, he got his, but we were able to get on it. We were able to get off on top.
Y'all were down 14 early in the third quarter. What was the key for y'all to come back in that game?
Honestly, it came down to defense. You know, we knew that eventually our shots were going to fall, but when it really just came down to being able to just be in rotations, being able to have a low man, being able to play proper pick and roll defense, and just be able to be in the gaps.
You put up another stat line that you didn't put up in college with, you know, the points and the rebounds. What's the difference between your situation here now and your situation in Duke?
You know, just being able to just be grateful enough to just have my hands ready, clean up the boards, be able to know that I'm catching lobs, I'm catching off little dump off passes, and just cleaning up everything. You know, being able to know that I'm stepping into a different light is a different role for me.
Man, D-Live, when you get announced in the starting lineup, your name's one of the loudest names every time. How have you felt that the fans have embraced you so far in Dallas?
Man, I love Dallas. You know, I really appreciate everybody who's been able to just bring the energy because, you know, I'm lively, but it seems like every time I hear my name, just the place gets more lively. Just being able to know that I have not just my team, but the community on my back, it just makes me want to work that much harder.
Do you have rookie responsibilities as far as picking something up before you get to the airport?
Yup. You know, I got to be able to bring a couple of things on the road. Got to be able to make sure if anybody needs a food, I got to go get it. No matter if that's at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 in the morning. But being able to know that I got my teammates' backs. You know, I'm a rookie. I got to do what I need to do to earn my keep, earn my spot. So that's what I got to do.
Get tonight.
I don't think we have to get, I don't think we have to get any food tonight. They're probably going to make us do something whenever we get there, though.
You have a vet?
All of them are my vets. You know, I'm the youngest player on there by far, so I feel like everybody kind of looks at me as, this young buck, the rookie. So everyone's always as hard as me, but that doesn't mean I deter away from the challenge.
There's no questions right now because everybody's shocked.
We went through this whole thing with Jalen Brunson.
Oh, trust me, and JB have a lot alike.
You talk a lot more than he does.
Probably. I'm like probably 20 inches taller.
LaMelo Ball had 10 assists in the first half, then he had 28 points in the second half. What was the key to limiting him in his scoring the first and the passing in the second?
He's a special player, man. He puts a lot of pressure on you. Not only just his ability to create for others, but when he gets hot and he's able to knock down some tough shots. He's a big fan of that left foot pull up for three, which is a crazy shot to shoot, which is even cooler watching, but we just tried our best to make sure that we, kept up our physicality in the second half, didn't allow him to make those easy plays, simple reads, and make them, spray it out to the shooters that force them to take difficult shots.
How big of a boost was it when Jaden and Lively too both kind of got jump-started things and then you started to come?
Absolutely. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to continue to keep saying it for the rest of the season. Jaden, Lively, and Josh Green, those three guys are going to be huge for us. They got to continue to, keep taking strides every single day, making the right read, continue with the energy that they're playing with. They inspire us, and they do a phenomenal job of being prepared no matter what role they receive. There's games where Josh is going to play 30 minutes. There's going to be games where Jaden may play 5 minutes, but then the next game be asked to play 34. So their attitude, their approach is going to be the true making of a mark of this team. And I want to say, I always will say thank you to those guys because, I've been in that role and I know how difficult it could possibly be. And those guys come in for great energy every single day, and they compete and they make sure that their ultimate goal is winning, and they're going to really benefit from that down the line.
You see 72 points in the paint. What do you think of the primary causes of that? What needs to be cleaned up there?
The primary cause is we don't listen. I feel like that's the biggest issue on that. We knew what the game plan was. We knew they were going to put pressure on us in the paint in that first half. I think we allowed probably 40 or 30 some points in the paint. So we have to do a better job of executing the game plan. The coaches put us in a great position. They do a phenomenal job of making sure that we're ready and prepared every single night. So we have to do a better job of making sure that we listen to those guys and really come out and make those guys that we play against do something they're not used to doing. And tonight we did a solid job of it, I guess you could say, because there's strides. I guess they had 20 offensive rebounds last game. We made progress on that and got better rebounds tonight. So step by step.
Grant, you're shooting above 50% from downtown. Can you talk a little bit about the Luka and Kyrie's ability to create for you?
Absolutely. Luka and Kyrie do a phenomenal job of drawing attention. And my job on this team is just not being able to be spaced and knock those shots down every single time. And I kind of crush myself sometimes because 50% is still not good enough to me. I have to be able to even step up even more. And tonight was one of those nights that, they just fell for me. So I have to continue to stay prepared, get my extra shots in every single day and not take these, blessings lightly because, these two superstars are special. They do a phenomenal job every single night. They take the highs and the lows from the media, from everyone in the world, and they have to balance that and balance their commitment to the team. So those two guys will always support, and they always have our backs on the court, and they make it a lot easier for us. So my job is to make it easy for them.
Would you say it's the most open shots of your career so far?
I feel like, I've definitely been very, very open on this team. I do have to shout out those guys back in Boston. They did a phenomenal job too. So, it's interesting because those, being around these special players, you really have an opportunity to make a mark in the league. And I'm fortunate to be able to be in this position in Dallas that I've got a little more opportunity. So I'm just trying to make the most out of it.